There is an old samurai legend of the great swordsmith Masamune and his student Muramasa. Muramasa challenged his master as to who could make the greatest sword. Once they both had their swords made, they took them down to a river, and the student placed his sword against the current of the river. That sword cut every leaf that passed by and every fish that passed by, even the air that flowed over it. The master placed his sword against the current of the river, and it cut the leaves, but the fish simply checked it out and swam away unharmed, and the water passed by effortlessly. The student laughed, thinking that he had won the competition. A monk who had witnessed the demonstration walked up and told him what he had seen. He said that the first sword is definitely a fine sword, but it is bloodthirsty and evil. It cuts indiscriminately. It could be chopping down butterflies just as easily as it could be chopping off heads. The second sword is definitely the finer of the two, because it does not needlessly cut that which is innocent and undeserving. This shows that a sharp blade is not simply just a sharp blade. You need to hone that edge specific to the purpose of that tool. So the angle of the edge will determine its durability and sharpness, and which direction that you run the blade against the stone will also determine its durability and sharpness, and those must be considered for the tool that you're using. So remember that there are many different kinds of blades, but you have to hone the edge according to the purpose of that tool. So first, when you're looking at a blade like this, you can have a wide angle or a narrow angle. A wide angle is a lot more durable than a narrow angle, but it is not as sharp. So when you're using a stone, what you're doing is you're removing material from the knife, and you're also creating a burr. So running the stone towards the spine, which is the back of the blade, what that's doing is that's cutting off the burr, and that creates a more durable edge. Now, if you go the other way and you run the stone away from the spine, you're drawing that burr out, and that burr can get razor sharp, but it's really flimsy and it can easily be deformed. So that principle can also be used for larger blades. So for an axe, you want this to be as durable as you can make it. So it's going to have a very wide angle, and you're going to draw the stone towards the back of the blade, the spine, to cut that burr off. And that's going to give you the most durable edge that you can create, because this chops a very hard material. But for a weapon, you want this to be sharp. Having this sharp is more important than the durability of the edge, because you're not going to use it a lot. It's more important that it's sharp. So what you're going to do is you're going to draw that burr out by drawing the stone away from the spine at a very narrow angle to bring that burr out, and that's going to make it as sharp as you can make it. Now for longer blades, this is a kukri, and what this is used for is chopping down grass and bush and twigs, branches. So the edge here at the front, that's going to get most of the work, and it needs to be very durable. So depending on where you're going to be, if you're going to be chopping grass or you're going to be chopping wood, like twigs, so that's going to determine your angle. So if you're going to be using grass, you can use a narrower angle, but you still want the edge to be durable. So you're going to draw the stone towards the spine to cut that burr off. But if you're chopping thicker material like sticks, then you can use a wider angle, but you're still going to draw the stone towards the spine. Now this inside of the edge here, that's for finer tasks like cutting notches into branches and stuff like that. So you want that to have a narrower angle but you still want it to be durable. So narrow angle and bring the stone towards the spine. And that's going to give you a narrow, sharp, durable edge. And the same principle can be applied to a sword. This here is going to get most of the work because you're going to be doing most of your fighting from a distance. You want to stay away from your enemies. So here you can use a narrow angle and you want it to be durable. So again, you're going to bring that stone towards the spine at a narrow angle. And the inside of the edge here, that's when you're up close and personal with somebody, which isn't going to happen very often. So the durability isn't important. What's important is that it's sharp. So here you can draw that burr out by bringing the stone away from the spine at a narrow angle. And that's going to give you two different edges on a long blade. The swordsmith Masamune understood that the honing of an edge depends on what you're going to use that tool for. A sharp sword is honed differently than a sharp axe. A wide angle will be more durable than a narrow angle, but it will never be as sharp. Drawing that burr out is going to give you a razor sharp edge, but it's going to be less durable and it's going to require frequent sharpening. Those can be applied to longer blades, and longer blades can have differently shaped and honed edges in different areas, which is going to give that tool different uses and make it more effective for different tasks. Showing respect and care for your blade will ensure that that blade will work equally as much for you. Thank you.